Hello, everyone. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon from everywhere you are. I hope you are doing well. Today we have another session with Microsoft Zero to Hero. I hope this session it's a great for all of you. Before to kick off the main session, let me share some slide about the community and the future session. Let me add my slide here. As you see, today we have Manpreet here. He wants to talk about the Copilot Studio, and you can build your own Copilot. The topic is very interesting. As you know, the Copilot is used into everywhere in Microsoft technology and other services. And actually, as you know, we are part of Microsoft Learn Community. Microsoft Learn Community is a hub and a collection of center of the learning content based off your certificate, based off your career, and based off the role. You can select your learning path and ask your question from a lot of learn experts. You can join from aka.ms Microsoft Learn Community. And this is a Microsoft Zero to Hero March calendar. Register your session. All previous session uploaded on our YouTube channel. And the last slide is our code of contact. And be aware of other, be friendly and passionate, be welcoming and respectful, be open to all question and viewpoint, be understanding on different, be kind and consider to other in the chat, in the question. And the time is to add Manpreet in the to stage. Hello again.
Hello, hello. How are you guys?
How are you, Manpreet?
I'm good. I'm in Toronto, super cold, wearing a jacket, but surviving.
Oh, well, how's the weather? Is it sunny or?
I think it's sunny, but it's -4 Celsius,
Oh,
so it is cold. Yes.
yeah. I think with your session, all of your the minus of weather is a good, is a
Right.
warm. Yeah, great, great. Let me add your presentation on the stage.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Thanks, person. And thank you for hosting it. And you guys are doing an amazing job. All different sessions, different topics. And people can learn right from their home, from their laptop, TV, stream it on YouTube. That's
yeah.
the perfect way of learning in today's world. Yeah.
Thank you. Let's go.
All right. Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are watching from. I'm thankful to be a part of this Microsoft Zero to Hero program. And today I'll be speaking about build your own co-pilot like Jarvis. I'm an Iron Man fan, and many of you might be same. So it's all about building that own Jarvis, and we have Copilot Studio to build that. So that's me. My name is Manpreet Singh. I'm a senior architect at Cognizant. I'm an MVP, MCT. I speak at various conferences. I host various conferences, and you can scan me from my LinkedIn code there. And if you have any questions about the topic, off the topic, any other Microsoft 365 or Azure platform, or even something about your own career, what to do, what to follow, I'm always online on LinkedIn, so we can have a chat there. So that's me. And today we are going to be building a bot from the scratch. And I think I have been a fan of building bots, and many of us are, right. And now with the new Gen AI layer, even the Tesla bots or other companies are all building real bots to help you on a day-to-day cycle. Pardon me, I have cough, so I'll be coughing throughout the session, but that should not stop from you to ask me any questions. I can see if you have any questions, you can put it on the comment section wherever you're watching it from so that it comes up here on my screen and I can answer that while I'm doing the slides. Right. So before bots, I would say there used to be a very strategic, or I would say classic way of building bot. It was more on if and if else condition. It was not contextual. It used to be like keyword phrasing. You need to match some keywords for it to do some operations. And I have built a lot. I have used emulators and things to just play around that whole bot framework. And but now with the new power of Gen AI, the age of AI has arrived, and everything is part of AI right now. Even if somebody comes to me with a requirement of a power app, they want a Gen AI layer to it. If somebody wants to build a SharePoint intranet site, they want a GenAI agent there. So every part of our businesses or every part of our own employee experiences are gonna be abide by the GenAI layer of it. And that's amazing, right? You need to understand, and it's all about the adoption, how you can expand and how you can grow with this. It's all about the adoption, and we have seen that like once you give somebody a GenAI license, until you train them, until you have discussions with them, they don't understand. Okay, I have an agent. What do I do with it? So you need to break that whole productivity cycle and make that adoption more stronger so that you understand the age of AI, which is right now, and it's in every single infrastructure, data apps, or anywhere. If somebody is building an app, it has a Jenkins there. So that's how the building has become. And we are having a rise of the bots because of that, because so many agents, multi-framework agents, master agent, child agent. Like right now, as me, I work on the pre-sale side, and we have been doing only agents with different connectors, different products. Whether if it's connecting to a ServiceNow agent or connecting to Confluence, they want an agent to do everything, and even I will love it. And right now, it's still on a text basis, but soon you'll be able to, hey, Copilot, can you schedule a meeting with Merchant and for tomorrow's session? So it will start intuitive with my knowledge, like what we have Alexa or Google Home. It's gonna come up in our own enterprise engagements as well. So that's why I say it's the rise of the bots. But don't worry, we human are still gonna be control them. So as I was saying before, bots or before the Jenny High, the bots are very transactional, right? Like you do something and then it does an operation, understand some keywords and then build over it. But right now with the Jenny layer, it has improved, and Copilot, which comes in Microsoft 365 space, has improved that whole employee experience. I know I was having a call with somebody last week, and I was talking about Microsoft is winning because of the employment network of M365, Outlook, SharePoint, OneDrive, the data they have, the interactions with their own product and suits. That's where the Copilot is coming in the picture. And most of the company are using it through direct Copilot or Copilot Studio, or they are building their own agent in a way. So in 2022, ChatGPT was announced. I think we all went crazy. I still have it on my phone. When I installed it, it was the most installed application, most and all the stuff. And then Copilot came as a search engine. People were more happy. All right, I have a chat agent. I can get my details from SharePoint, OneDrive, etc., etc. Even other different data sources I can connect to through Graph. And then now in 2024 and 2025, the customization became a big evaluation, where you are not only doing a retrieval or a search engine, you're also able to do actions over it. Like if I am able to get something on ServiceNow, if I'm able to search, I'm also able to create a ServiceNow ticket without going to ServiceNow. And that is what made it different for agentic building and agent solutions. What we and Microsoft and even Satya had a sessions a couple of weeks back. He was talking about it's all gonna be about the agentic framework where every single task, every single activity will be done through it, and it reduces time. It reduces the effort. If I have to open a new service now ticket and fill up 10 fields to create a new ticket, I would be able to do that with my chat. Hey, can you create a service now ticket? I'm having an issue with accessing SharePoint site. It will fetch all the information, categorize it, and assign it to the right person or the right team. That's where the future is, right? It reduces my time, it improves my employee experience, and I'm able to do other stuff much more efficiently. Now, Microsoft Copilot for Microsoft 365 broadened as Copilot, where the whole Microsoft is part of it, like products of Outlook, OneDrive, with their own web grounding data, surrounded by your Microsoft Graph layer or API services. And then you can not only just build over it, you can build agents or you can use that enterprise model applications over external data sources, whether it can be Salesforce, Workday, Confluence, ServiceNow. You can bring those data inside Copilot Studio and build over it. Why is it getting famous? Why everyone is building over it? First point, it helps you in your own compliance data. All DLP policies are applied. It is enterprise grade security production because it is a part of your own suite, right? Own tenant. So all those policies get applied to the agent. The agent, whatever data or whatever learning happens, is not being used to train any other master model of Microsoft. So if it's your own model, it's your own content, your own data, it's not going out anywhere. That kind of security, if Microsoft provides, enterprises then choose that and build agents over it, multiple agents. Like we'll talk about some use case scenarios. I'm gonna build something with you, and we'll see how the building happens quickly and efficiently with the Copilot Studio. The building custom bots were tough. It was more on bot framework structures, emulators. Like I remember, I still if I have old laptops. I have many old laptops, so I can still find emulators which will run in the backend for me to do operations or chatting with my agent. But now those days are over. Even I don't need a Visual Studio Code to build an agent or deploy an agent to the team search, even to my phone. It's that efficient. Like now I have agent on my phone where I can manage my own enterprise data or even my own personal information right from there. That's where building a bot has become more easier with Copilot Studio. Now, what is Microsoft Copilot Studio? We all had Power Platform virtual agents. We all knew that is there. It was being used. I won't say it was like an abruptly platform which exploded and everybody started building lots of PVA. But we did build a lot of PVA for day-to-day operation, help desk modeling and stuff like that. But it still missed the general layers. It was more on if and else condition. We used to build a lot of workflows in the backend for it to navigate if there's a request. And I would say there was 60 or 40%. 60% the transactions would go through as they require, and there would still be a 40%. And now I would say it's 99 and 1%. So 99% the agent understands and explore and provides you information from that. That retrieval part of content, that doing processes and automation has built Copilot Studio as a very single standalone platform. Uh, I'll come to the licensing part of it, why and where to use Copilot Studio. But with the Copilot Studio, you can build your own agents, even if you don't have a $30 license, which is the Copilot license. So you have two ways of it. Now, when an organization comes to us, they ask us, "Hey, I want an agent, but I don't want to pay a $30 license. It's too expensive for me for now. I want to explore. I want to see what it does." So you go to your standalone system. So standalone Copilot Studio is just $200 per user. That can be a service account which you can use to build multiple agents in organizations and connect to various data sources and provide that adoption of agentic layer in the organization. And then once you see so many people are using it, they're happy with it. Probably you can introduce Copilot Studio and Copilot agents, M365 Copilot, which has its own capability, own capacity of holding all Microsoft suites together. You don't need to connect it to a SharePoint side or a OneDrive side. And it has its own different benefits. But I'll not talk about that today. Today, my whole topic is standalone Copilot Studio, where you can build your own Jarvis. And this is a weekend. I always, whenever I'm presenting on a weekday, I tell people to do this on weekend. But today's weekend, if you have your laptop on, we can build a quick agent in 10 minutes. That's the whole plan of it. So building your own agent has become so easy. Even in my organization, there's a lady, she is 70 plus old, and she has built her own agent to do her own work from Excel sheets and PDF files and SharePoint. And she goes and present it to everyone. She's so super excited that, hey, I have built an agent from the scratch, and it does almost 25% of my job just by doing operations and integrations through that agent. That's where running your own Copilot has become so important. And not only just for you as an employee experience, people are building agents for different departments, HR, sales, finance. It goes on in different verticals of the company, which you can deploy it for n number of people, share it with n number of people, and they can use that agentic capability. So in Copilot Studio, you have built topics where you'll be able to, I would say topics is more of a navigating element where you give a user user story, how and what to proceed. Generative AI is part of it. You can publish it to any platform and every platform through embedded code of an HTML or through posting it directly as a Teams app. It provides you a whole analytics and insight how the agent is working. Is it providing a perfect response or is it still lacking? You can train the model based on the content preaching, prompt engineering, and all the stuff. And then you are building plugins over it for M365 Copilot. Now, building an agent in Microsoft 365, there are three ways right now. One is the Copilot Studio, which is here. We'll be building the agent from here. Another is from the Teams. There is a Copilot Agent Studio Builder on the Teams, which you can build an agent through, but you require an M365 license. And the third reason is the custom one, where you are able to build to any number of what eight agents. And yes, you can also build directly agents on SharePoint right now. So and it's very simple. You just click on the create an agent, that SharePoint library, whatever document files that get passed to the indexer and orchestrate an Gen AI agent for you. I will try to show that to you when I'm showing the document library option. Okay. So now customizing through a knowledge, building over actions and deploying that to multi-organizations layer has become super easy for Copilot Studio. Now, the knowledge source can be anything. It can be one PDF file, it can be one SharePoint site, it can be a data from Salesforce, it can be data from ServiceNow. That knowledge hub where you can connect through API calls or Microsoft Graph has become very easy for you to integrate through the Studio. Second part of it, building actions like we have Power Automate or SharePoint Designer workflows once upon a time. Like when a new item is created, do this. You have to do the same trigger functionality here when an agent, when a user is talking to an agent and is requesting to create a new service now ticket. For example, you build a new Power Automate in the backend, which goes get all information and create a ticket in the back. So in a way, you're building actions over the agentic so that the user, if he's or she is trying to search for something, it goes diverse to them, making them use for, okay, I got the information what I want. Now can I do this? Can you create an expense report for me? Or can you create a vacation leave for me? Right? So all those things as an action come as part of your agent building solution. And then you can publish it as an M365 Copilot plugin or as a whole standalone agent. Now, Gen AI has been important. It works on a similar model of OpenAI services. So Copilot is just a wrapper over it, building over it, but it helps you to design your data sources and understand the API call in the backend system. Similar way, generative actions. You can build multiple actions over a multi-intent query, not just like I have one agent for one service now. No, you can have the same agent for ServiceNow, the same agent for SharePoint, the same agent for HR policies, any number of operations, all through different generative actions or topics when you can say. And the best of part of it is to build an agent. You have a generative builders which helps you to build your own agent, helps you to build the whole topic structure, even action. So you it reduces your effort. It just understands in natural language what you want to be built, and it builds that layer or responsiveness over it. Whether it's a Azure bot system integration you're doing, or whether it's doing a simple SharePoint with an agent collaboration here. Um, Lovely. So I don't want to waste. I don't like spending a lot of time in slides, so I want to build an agent with you. So if you guys are free, just go to copilotstudio.microsoft.com. This is how the plugin looks like. Let me bring it here on the screen here. So this is copilotstudio.microsoft.com. It's free for 30, 60, 90 days. You can extend it for a period of time while you're understanding the whole logic behind it. And then if you want to use it for production level, the license is $200 per user, and you can build like I think there's a limit of 60 agents if I'm not wrong, which you can build through one single license. It can be on HR, marketing, service now, or you can build one agent doing all those operations as well. It depends. Like some of the use cases we have seen is where the HR does not want integrated system with other data sources, so it just wanted to be deployed to only HR department. So you can have those smaller org level, department level agents also for day-to-day activities, right? So if you have Power Apps, if you have Word in Power Apps, just go to make.powerapps.com. You click on Power Platform here, you will see Copilot Studio options. Even if you have never used it, just go there. It will open up a page. It will ask you, welcome to this and this. Do you want to try it? Just click on yes. You sign up and you get like 30 days. And then you can do a couple of more sign-ups to just play around, and then it stops. It asks you to go and purchase it. But there's a better way of starting it. And if you have a dev environment, that's perfect. You can just deploy one agent and see how the whole functionality works. So this is how the agent looks like. This is the Copilot Studio welcoming. It has n number of agents already here, which you can start playing around with it. You don't need to start from the scratch, but I'll show you. Even starting from the scratch is so simple and easy. And you have all the documentation provided by Microsoft and the Copilot engineering team from how to build a standalone platform or an agent right from there. Right. And if not, you have this video which is coming up and we're gonna build it together right now. So let's start building one, right? So I am a user, I want to build an agent. I have so many options. I can click from here. I can bring a Q&A, a weather agent to know my weather and Moses weather, what's happening in Vancouver or Toronto. The voice is also coming. I've played around with it, but I think I need more capabilities than it is right now so that I can be able to converse with the agent right now. And then the benefit, all the stuffs you can just use. There's few of them coming soon. They might be in the preview phase being beta tested. So, but for now, today we'll go with the scratch one. So I'll click on new agent. So you have an agent to build an agent. See, so there's an agent which asks you, hey, how do you want to go ahead, and also gives me an option about you can use this and this. But I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna build something for Microsoft Learn. This is all about Microsoft Learn content, right? So I'll say, can you build an agent for my employees to have a learning experience on Power Apps? Let's do one platform. Of course, there's so much learning experience. So I'll go with that. It will take my input. It will understand the different comprehensive learning experience it can offer, what can be step by step, etc., etc. Great. Now let's determine the name of your agent. Do you want the Power Apps Learning Assistant? Yeah, this is good. That's good. So it's like I'm conversing with a person. Uh, so, okay, we have identified the name is going to be Power Apps Learning Assistant. If you see here, the name got changed and it added here as part of the scope. Now, let's define the agent, what it should do, right? Let's define what the agent should do. For example, the agent should provide tutorials, etc., etc. Yes, the agent should provide a step guide on Power Apps Learning, right? And I can keep chatting with the agent. It will ask you to share what knowledge repositories you want to add, how the data sources are going to work. So if you see, it will keep asking you questions of the agent or the URLs you have and you want to integrate, and you keep adding them. And in the end, your agent will be ready. But for now, for this demo purpose, I want to show you, even if you can just go click on create, even without the agent, it's just super simple to go and build something. So I'll click on create. Takes like 5 seconds for it to load in with all the information I already shared with it. So that will be carried over here while I was talking with the agent. So there you go. I have an agent called Power Apps Learning Assistant, which we made a deal with it. Um, there's a description, what it's gonna do, and again, it understood from mine. It also provided some instructions, how the instruction should be, how that agent should be performing, be friendly, supportive in tone, avoid technical jargon unless necessary. So that's how we want, right? We want an agent, we want a person when they come and teach us something. It should be on a layman language so that I understand the basic, I understand the intermediate, and I understand how to build layers over it, right? And then you have different knowledge sources you can add right now, allow AI to enable. But again, it depends on companies, and we'll come to that. Actions, where I'm going to be building Power Automate workflows. Triggers, similar like SharePoint Designer or Power Automate we used to build. That when something happens to this, like this can be when a new item gets created to SharePoint, trigger this action, right, etc., etc. And then you have topics. We are building topics over layers of it, and then these are the starter prompts. When this publish get to the agent on M365 or Copilot, you will see the starter prompts coming up there. So let's go back to the knowledge section. So right now the knowledge hub is it's bringing data from the Bing.ai. Usually it works good if for me or for as an end user experience, but when organization comes in the picture, they ask us to build agents not with the Bing knowledge or Google knowledge. They want that data to be coming from their own knowledge sources. So they're very specific. Hey, I don't want my users to get confused on the web because there's a lot of data on the web, right? I want them to have a learning platform from my SharePoint side or whether from my website or from my company website, right? So what we do is we start off with, and this is a homework, everyone, whoever you're seeing, if you're following along, perfect. If not, this can be a homework for you. Whenever you're building an agent, I always tell people, first thing what you do is you bring your company's website as part of the knowledge hub. How you can do it, just click on add knowledge. You have an option called public website. You click on public website, and I already opened cognizant.com. This is our public website. It's a public domain, so it has all the learning content. I'm gonna just add it here as a company website. Click on add, and if I'm not the owner of the site, my somebody from my company might be, but I can check or uncheck that option, and I'll click on add. Okay, it'll take as it's a HTML loaded copy, so it will take hardly 10 seconds for that whole indexing to happen. If you see the status is ready, and now if I go and what are the services provided by Cog. I can even do that with Microsoft. Any public domain website you want to bring in, you can just integrate that. There you go. It immediately picked up. I don't have to open my company website to understand what are the services it provides. It gave me all the content from there with a detailed link from where and what are Cognizant do and what are their services, right? Similarly, if there's a learn.microsoft.com, right? This conference is all about that. So if I go Power Apps, learn content, right? I want my users to get exactly information. I don't want them to get web information because they get confused, and some of the articles or the blogs they don't get updated on a day to day. But I know Microsoft Learn, they are always updated with all the training models, content, and everything. So I'll go to okay this site about Power Platform. I'll just copy that, and that will be an intuitive agent for it to circle. Now it's a public domain, so I can just go to public domain, provide that link here. I can remove few of this to URL. There you go. It accepted it. I always tell people to add www dot, and even Microsoft tells that it easily crawls in the index much more faster. So I click on that. I have the website ready, and I'll click on add. Again, it's a public domain, very light wrapper around it. So if you see the status becomes very easily, quickly ready. But I've seen it shows ready sometimes. It takes like at least 10 to 30 seconds. But if I come here, can you help me learn Power Platform, right? I'm asking the agent here directly. And just remember this content, I have closed the Bing knowledge. So I'm getting direct information from this website. So I'm getting information from Cognizant right now. So it's still loading. Give it a moment. So can you help me learn Microsoft Power Platform from Microsoft Learn? And we'll see how to differentiate the topic and how to bring in different scope so that you understand if there's a topic similarly coming from one engagement to another, it should understand, okay, I'm asking from learn.microsoft.com and not other part of it. So it tells the Microsoft platform is this to learn from the steps. It provides you see visit the Microsoft Learn website, etc. So I'm getting information from learn.microsoft.com. In the back end, this is how the topics works, right? So what happened here is you can design the topic like when somebody is asking about Microsoft Learn, don't go to the whole data sources. Right now, if I see the data sources is everything on here, I can just click on search only data sources from this specific. So the content or the trigger can be if somebody used the word Microsoft Learn or training or learning, which I can add it here as part of the trigger. It should only get me data from this learn.microsoft.com. And then I can build another topic. If somebody is asking me a question about a company or cognizant or services, then use this as a part of the knowledge hub. This is how you train the topics and it provides the GenAI and understanding. Okay, this is so, and it's the first time in a way you're training that model with these activities and this checklist. And then future you will see how responsive it is when somebody is asking about learn.microsoft.com, the data goes there. And similarly, when somebody is asking about cognizant.com, the subject goes from there. That's where the data topics creation is very important. So let's go back to that. And one more thing I want to show you. So again, on the Knowledge Hub, the most used application is SharePoint. People want to bring in their policies, HR hubs, and content, know-how content, and all the stuff to SharePoint. And they have so much content on SharePoint. Like there's a client we work with. They have 5 lakh document libraries and etc. etc. They all have migrated to from different platforms, and now they want a GenAI layer over it. It is as simple as connecting data sources. Of course, the more data you put in as part of the GenAI layer, you need to train it through the ways I was showing you through topics, which you will see and will create one. It's more of an end user story how you want to build, right? So I'll bring in SharePoint side. I have a SharePoint site called employee onboarding. I just uploaded a PDF file, which is nothing, just a PDF plain text from modern employee HR policy, how happens, what it happens. I think it's of some third party company. Yeah. So this is an employee. What happened in first 60 days? What happened in 30 days? In a way, it's an employment document. I'll just pass that as the scope of Knowledge Hub for an agent. So I just come here. I can browse the SharePoint site, or I just load it with the SharePoint site here with the library. I click on add. I can load the whole SharePoint site. I can load a specific document library and I click on add. Again, it will take 10 to 15 seconds for it to load in. It shows ready, as I said. It always shows ready, but it takes a while in the backend. It's what we have seen. And so I'll come here, I'll click on refresh. Let's see. How can I start my employee onboarding process? Okay. Okay, so it comes in there, getting my employee onboarding process. It should go and hit the SharePoint site or that PDF file we have extracted information. And it did. It got me modern employee on board. It get me, see, first 30 days, first 60 days, first 90 days information from that. It is that quick. Of course, I've loaded one file, but if you see, that's where the generative power comes in the picture. You are getting an agent from the scratch for this and this operation, and that is what I tell people. First homework is when you build this agent and build a couple of your public website as your company website, and then probably a knowledge hub as learn.microsoft.com, which is updated data every time, and then probably put in some SharePoint file, even a PDF file or in one file. You can add a direct knowledge. You can just upload a file. Even if you don't want to load a SharePoint site for now, you can just upload a random text file or random PDF or all those files. And you have a limit of 512 MB, which was 50 MB just I would say a few months back, but now they have made it as 512 MB, which we are also happy about it. So you can load a file and have that as a knowledge source and agent, and then you can deploy it, and we'll come to that deployment structure. So this was where you're building a knowledge hub, right? Now comes the topics. Why there are already system topics and some custom topics. Like when you say a hi, what it should do. So if I say hi, let's see, let's go here. So it will say, "Hello, can I help you today?" So it's coming from conversational boosting, conversation start. Sorry, you can change it, you can rename it like "Hello," and you can put the name of the user, or "Hey, this is this agent, like this is an HR agent, or this is an expense report agent. How can I help you today?" You can edit that. Okay. So let's think about expense report. That's a good example. So here again, to create a topic, I have a generative AI builder which will help me in building the whole topic. So I click on here, I'll put in expense report, for example, right? All organizations require an expense report agent. I hate the processes to go upload and all the stuff. I would love to have an agent. So create a user journey to create expense report and get all necessary information from the user about the expenses. Simple English, right? And I'm creating that topic. It will understand what I want, uh, even if my spellings are wrong there. But it understands what I'm going to look for, and it will create a summary of topics. If you see it coming in, I got some triggers, I got some questions automatically. So if you see, if somebody anywhere comes around and type, I want to submit an expense report, and that matches any of the phrases, and now, before the legacy bot framework, you had to match quite accurately or very closely to the. Right now, it's not required. I can put in anything. I can. Hi, I want to file my expenses. I can how create an expenses, even if it doesn't match any of it. But the word expenses, it will understand as a trigger what you want to do, and it already picked up some of the questions. What is the date of the expense? What is the amount? What is the category? And if you see, it's already giving me suggestions. What is the date of the what is the amount, etc. I can just click on it and please provide a brief description. I can add more questions to it. Now, creating a topic or creating a journey is super easy. Like here, okay, I'll come here. Can you create an expense report? All right. So if you see, it immediately hit the trigger. So if you see, I don't have anywhere. Can you create an expense report? No, like just create an expense report. Okay, but there's nothing like can. I'm not. I'm trying to show you that it's just matching those keywords or phrases or understand the context, and it gets me to the next question. Okay, what is the date of purchase? Like if I said it was yesterday. Okay. And then it goes to the next question. So if you see, I am filing everything as part of the agent. I'll just put $200. And what is the category? It was travel. So please provide a brief description of your travel, what you did, etc., etc. It was for a conference travel. All right. There you go. So I got a summary. This is what date is, amount is, categories, description. So now what will you do? Now you have a topic. Okay, now you got all the information from the user. Now, what should I do? I even wanna go and create an action over it. You can create an action here, or you can create an action directly here. Like this can be an action. Like if I have to ask more question, I just click on ask a question. If I want to send them a message, all right, thank you, your expense report is created. Or if I want to do an action, I come in here. You have different ways of doing it. You can create an API call, a character, a preview, or use Power Automate plugins or anything like that. And the best easy one is coming here, creating. I'll just use SharePoint here. Let's see. So if you see, you have create an item in SharePoint. If you have an expense report management system on SQL, you can just go to SQL, add that as a new record here. So in a way, you have so many operations just by doing here, inserting a row of data in the expense report portal you have, and then triggering it for an approval. All those counts as an action here while you're building on the Copilot Studio. That's where the glory comes. So you're able to query the data on the SharePoint engine or on the public domain or any data sources you have, or then you're able to build that user story. Okay, if somebody is asking for this, what should the agent do? I'm able to get the information. I'm able to fetch that information, and I'm able to replicate that to the publishing part of it. Right, I'm creating a Power Automate workflow, and then sending. I can just right. Okay, once I get that option, I can also do a send an email. I just click on flow, or I can even do it here. Cancel this. I can even do it here. I can just do email, like to send them a summary. Okay, this is what we have done. Send email. They have so many different ways. I can just do send an email notification. It's coming up. There you go. So as we used to do Power Automate workflows, all those triggers, all those actions you can build directly as Power Automate run the flow from Copilot and respond it like we used to do. And again, for that also you have an option here. Can you send an email when a new item is submitted in Dataverse? For example, we'll take it as a Dataverse. So what we'll do is like you can save that data, what information that expense report had, put it in a Dataverse, and then whenever somebody there's a new record happen to the Dataverse, it will send an email. So it already gave me some options. Added this actions. Finish setting up this action is still going on. So let it come. Okay, it has to reload. Sorry, I need to accept that. Or I can just come in here. I just click on creating a public connections. So you have various ways of building Power Automate connector. So if you see already added a new connection agent here, or I can just build in end to end a Power Automate workflow, which is still going on. Let it finish it. Okay, it's coming. Okay, create an action when a new record is added to Dataverse and send an email. Okay, so that is coming through again the agentic builder capability where I am responding with a Power Automate and getting that output here. So there you go. So it added whenever a new item gets added to the Dataverse, it will send an email to the HR policy or to the expense management team or something. Or I can just build an agent directly from here. I can just navigate who should that email to send. So I'll just put Manpreet, the hospital. That's not my real ID, so don't worry. And I can give a subject, expense report submitted. Body can be the same thing. The output of this expense description which comes in the picture, I can just put as a body. So I'll just go in there like we use Power Automate workflows. So I get expense report, date descriptions. I'll put the expense description here, and that's it. I'm done. So it will connect to an agent. I should put a. I'll put something, and then whenever I go back here, let's go back again here, and this message can be done. I'll just do one thing. I'll just drag this above. So the message goes first, and then you get the above layer. Trying to drag this. There you go. Let it close. Send and email. All right. So let's again. If I go here, create an expense report. Though my email ID is not right, so it won't go. But I want to show you how the email triggers. So today, it understands that today is a date. I spent $100. The travel. This one was from meals. Please provide. It was for a client dinner. All right. So yeah, I have to connect to the data sources, and it will be nothing but your own Power Automate connections, which I am doing right now. Takes a minute. All right, not connected. Let's connect it. There you go. It got connected. It's submitting. All right, it's connected now. Coming back to the topic, if I go to quick try, and this will be a one time you can use service now. So if you see, it got triggered. It showed me 401 because my email ID is not right, and I'm on a screen share. So yeah, so you understand the whole concept. Then it can be a mail. It sends an email and sends you a thank you offer. So I'll click on save. We'll save this topic. Okay. So we have an action. We have a save. So whenever there's a new item getting created, it can go and save the word in a data verse, or it can send as an email. This is what is done. and you'll have all the actions, multiple actions built through here. It can be an agent through an expense report system you have in the machine, or an API call to ServiceNow, if that is where you have your expense reported, or even as this custom connector to different data sources, different engagement, different portal, right? So you can build that end-to-end layer of it and have that as part of your agent. So your agent is not only just getting information from your data sources, it's also doing operations for you and doing activities for you. And all this, it, I just publish it here like it's nothing. It takes 2 to 3 minutes for the publish to happen. And let it come. Okay. Last, by the time it takes care, your agent will keep publishing in the background. So let's go close this. Activity. So what happened is all the activities you are doing with the agent, once this is getting published, you'll be able to see. And the most important part is analytics, which we all as a company we want to see. So your users will be able to see that. So this is how the engagement looks like. How many people are working on your client? So because everyone wants to know the ROI, right? Like if I have built an agent, I'm spending $200, or I'm spending on the Microsoft Copilot Studio Builders or Microsoft Copilot 365 license. I want to know the ROI. So you have dashboards like this. For this is specific to this agent. You have agentic capability dashboards on the Microsoft Copilot side as well, and it understand what total sources are being used, what's the 100% answer rate, and all this stuff. So it's good. Now, the most famous and easy part is publishing. You don't need Visual Studio Code to deploy an applications or deploy it to an end-to-end system. I can just click on it, Teams plus Microsoft 365. So people who have Microsoft 365 Copilot will see this agent on their Copilot experience, and people who just have Teams and they don't have a approved Microsoft Copilot license, they'll see as an agent. We'll do that click. It takes a while, so by the time we talk about it, it should be ready. So I have an option make agent available. This feature just got available this week, and it was not there. So if we had to develop something on Microsoft 365 Copilot and on Copilot Studio, we had to deploy it twice. But right now, these options make it easier. You can have it public both options. I'll click on add channel. Does it should take a minute or two, and it comes in, and we'll be able to see this whole Power Apps Learning Assistant deployed on Teams. All right. So yeah, it shows it's ready, but I know it takes 2 to 3 minutes. Let's try if it's ready. Sometimes it's quick and fast. Okay, clicking on open. I have my Teams loaded. This is how it looks like. I think it's ready. It shows me as a Teams app which got loaded as an agent. I click and it takes sometimes some minutes, sometimes like today if it's coming through, it will be fun. Yeah, it is. Let's see, click on open. All right, so if you see those were the startup prompts which we created as part of the system, and the agent is gonna say a hi, so we need to wait for that agent to say hi. It says understanding, getting deploy, and coming as part of the hi experience. Okay, it took a while. Even I like a hi. Let's see. Hi, how can I help you today? So, can you help me in the employee onboarding process? Remember, we have a file on SharePoint on the employee onboarding process. And as I said, the agent takes a while based on your DLP policies and organization layer of how the publishing happens. So for me, all the DLP policies do a minimum because this is a dev account. But if it's your own enterprise model, we see it the deployment on a team takes at least 8 hours sometimes. But for me, there's not much restriction, and I get the information right from the SharePoint site. I see the SharePoint site link here, and all my agent getting it coming here, right? And I can do even create an expense report. Remember, we created a topic for that, and we have an action to send an email. So yeah, you can do that. So I'm doing a retrieval part, and I'm doing action part. Yeah, it'll take a minute. It's still publishing, as I said. But yeah, you'll be able to create an agent and end-to-end actions right from the system. So by the time it's coming, we'll come back to that Teams one. Um, So out of the box extensions are already available when you deploy this, which is Power Automate, right? The whole power of Power Automate is coming to your steps. You're able to build in end-to-end operations. Like I'm able to bring in third-party connectors, third-party end-to-end plugins, all through Power Automate connectors, which is called as Copilot connectors when you're building Copilot. It will be called as Power Platform connectors when you're building on Power Platform, right? Now, the best part of it is it's secured, it's the governance and the compliance and privacy all take care as part of the engagement. So you don't have to worry about them. You don't have to set up another DLP policy just for an agent. All your data, if there's a DLP policy on the PHI information, it will reflect and it will tell you, okay, this is the policy. You can upload a file or certain content or share this certain content with this client. Okay. Now, most important question: what should I do? Like, and everybody asks me this question. And please feel free to ask me any questions here on the chat while we are finishing. And I'll just bring in my teams here for a minute. Yeah. So now people ask me, what's the difference between Copilot Studio M365, when to buy and when to choose? So here's a very important, right? So you have different Copilot for sales, for expenses, for finances, and out of the box extensions, right? If your company is trying to understand, okay, this is what I want to build, and I want to understand the Gen AI layer, I would say you can go ahead with a $30 license for a limited set of people and see how the agentic capabilities and Copilot Studio works along with it. But if you still feel that your company is not going to allow you that, try to bring in Copilot Studio, build something as on a third party, 30 days, 60 days period, free period. Show this to your management that this is what I can do while I'm able to create an agent and I'm able to create a standalone platform or this for HR or for finance, for expense report to build something over it. So show them that piece and it will understand, they will understand how the Gen AI layer or operations or the agentic framework for my organization, for my employee experience is going to work. So that's why I tell people start with Copilot Studio. Show this to your management, and I think the tech. If you want the tech, just text me on the chat and on LinkedIn. I'll share the text with you, or I'll share it with the organizer as well. He can share it with you all. Use this deck. Don't worry about oversharing it. We want, as an end user, as a speaker, I want you to go play around with. Show this to your management. Show this video. Or show you can do your own demo. Bring it on your company website and stuff like that, and then showcase this to them and to understand. One second, I'm just typing this. uh, to understand how the agentic framework will work for you, right? So I was on the chat here. I was just chatting. The agent came. Yeah, create an expense report. So what is the date of the expense? It is. It was yesterday. Okay, so what is the amount of expense? So see, the topic which we created has started working. So it takes like 2 to 3 minutes sometimes on the operation. So I was just testing it whether it's working or not. So there you go. It's working, and you can build that Gen AI layer over platform and platform to it. How do you start? Very easy. So many operations are there. If you build something as simple as an HR policy portal, HR has so many policies which every company has, from ordering, from vacation policies, vacation calendar, something on your payroll, how to deduct or how to add a new bank account. Simple statements. Load them to an agent. Let the user understand, hey, this is an HR agent. I can ask anything about HR. Or if it's sales, get recording a new sale, or if it's customer service, having a help desk model. Like that's another famous agent we build for many clients, where you are building an agent to ask for a new laptop or refreshing a laptop or having an issue with the laptop. All those require like a help desk model, like a ServiceNow agent. You can build it in house and show it to your bosses. Hey, I have built my own help desk agent. They can be used to create a new laptop, or they can use to create a new request for a mouse or a keyboard, all those stuffs. And there's so many lists. If you see here, I have added few here, and there's so many. When you start working on them, like, hey, they can be an agent for this, they can be an agent for this, or they can be a master agent to do every single operation, right? From recruiting to consulting, for financing, planning, even for preparing presentations. I have my own agent where I have loaded all the different kind of different proposals. And when I go and tell, hey, can you help me with a new proposal for a finance client on this? It understands, it reads all my finance proposals, bring that context out of it, bring that layer, and then with a prompt, I can design how the answer should be, how the slide comes should be, and it will give me an end-to-end engagement of a proposal there, and which I can just copy paste and put it in the slide. You can even do a PDF and all the stuff here with that. That's the power of building an agent or building yourself. There's already a lot of content on the web. Just search Microsoft Copilot Academy, and you will see so much things there, end to end, how to do step by step, like this similar way. And of course, Microsoft Learn has everything, and you can always go with Copilot Labs doing minimal requirement. There are videos and transitions how you can build something. But as I said, my whole intuitive of this session is on Copilot Studio is adoption. First, you need to see how it can be done. Then you have to do it for your own, like a homework when I say it to people. Then show it to your bosses, show it to your management, show it to your IT department. Here, I built an agent which can take request of creating a new expense report or creating a new laptop request. Everything just by chatting with an agent. Show them that experience, and that will give you an upskill and how the things work. Yeah. That's me for now. And as I said, scan my LinkedIn code there on the right side. If you have any questions on the use cases, user story, you want to build some overlayer, just reach out to me. It's very simple. It just we need to understand the basic part of the complexity, and then we can build agents over it. Over to you, Mohsen.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. It's a very great presentation. Thank you, Manpreet.
Thanks, man. I tried to be
And
on the time exactly.
oh no, thank you. Actually, we have some comments. There is no question, guys. If you have a question, you can ask in the chat, or
Yes.
maybe in the future you have any question. You can connect with Manpreet and in the LinkedIn or other social media, ask question. And one guy asked, there is the video available after the session. Yes, in our YouTube channel, we hosted this session. After that session, you can watch more. Let me show our YouTube channel address. This is our YouTube channel, Microsoft Zero to Hero. You can watch. We have a lot of message. And it's a great presentation. Thank you, guys. And yeah, that's one. There is no more question.
Perfect.
Yeah,
But
we
thank you,
can.
Mohsen, for hosting me today. Amazing experience, and I love to help people out. Like if they have any content, just reach out to me, and I'll help you. If you want the slide, I can even share a presentation with you
Yeah,
guys to share it with your management. So go ahead with that. Yeah.
yeah, sure. But thank you, guys. Thank you, Manpreet, again.
All right. Thank you, guys. Take care. Have a
Bye
nice evening,
bye.
everyone. Yeah.